So a lady casually goes to a restaurant with her colleagues and she observes her waiter's impressive ability to remember complex list of foods and drinks of various tables without any confusion. After having dinner, she comes out and she realizes that she left her purse in the restaurant. She walks back in and finds the same waiter who had served her and decides to ask him for help. Much to her astonishment, he fails to recognize her and he doesn't even remember where she was sitting. She was taken aback and asked the waiter how could have he forgotten them so easily when they had just a few seconds ago walked out of their restaurant after having their food. So to which the waiter replies that he apologized first of all and replied that he always forgets the orders as well as the customers as soon as their orders were delivered and the bill was paid. This was so that he could focus more on the current orders. The lady mentioned in the video is a famous psychologist and psychiatrist, Zeigarnik, and based on her experiences, she did various experimental studies which led to the discovery of the Zeigarnik effect. Hi guys, this is Sneha, third year medical student from Bangalore. In today's video, I am going to share more about the Zeigarnik effect and how it can help us complete our tasks more efficiently. So according to the Zeigarnik effect, incomplete tasks remain in our mind only until they are completed. Or in other words, when you are completing a task and there's an unknown interruption or any intentional interruption in your task, then you are more likely to remember that task because that task stays somewhere in the back of your mind and you're more likely to recall it better. Also, this means that after the purpose has been solved, we no longer remember or retain the information and it gets out of our mind. So according to a series of experiments and studies conducted by Zeigarnik, it was evident that people with their tasks interrupted were more likely to remember the task than those with completed tasks. And more specifically, people with their tasks interrupted during the middle stages or the end stages of the task were more likely to remember it better than when the task was interrupted during the beginning. So her explanation for this phenomenon was that when we have some incomplete tasks, it creates a psychic tension at the back of our mind and there's a need for completion for that task, which leads to easy recall and retainment of the task at the back of our mind. And after the purpose has been solved, the tension is eased and we tend to forget the information or the task more easily. It is very similar to how we cram pages and books of information just before the exam and forget it right after the exam. So during the exam, we may remember the answers, but as soon as the purpose has been solved, as soon as we complete the exam, we tend to forget it. So hence it's always suggested to study beforehand and study with the intention of knowing things and not just to pass the exam. Because when we have the intention of learning, then we tend to retain the information for a longer period of time. If our intention is purely to pass the exams or to perform well in the exams, after the exams we tend to forget the information, like most of the information, not always but many a times. That's how the human psychology works. So here are some ways in which we can use Zeigarnik effect in our daily lives. Intentionally interrupt your task by taking breaks so that you can recall the information related to that better. It is scientifically proven that no matter how small a break is, even a small 5-minute break between your task to do something totally unrelated to the task can lead to better consolidation of the memory and the processing related to the task and lead to better performance in the end. The second thing is just do it. If you want to start a new task or complete that assignment of yours which is you have been procrastinating for long, then just do it. Once you start it, the Zeigarnik effect starts to kick in and that incomplete task creates a psychic tension and a positive pressure leading you to complete the task. So once you start a task, the process gets much easier and you are more likely to complete it. As it's rightly said, well begun is half done. avoid hoarding your to-do list with lots and lots of tasks. We often think that let's just write all the tasks that we have to complete, and no matter how much we complete, there will be a record of that, like so much is there to complete. But what this does is it's a negative utilization of the Zeigarnik effect. If you have dozens of tasks on your to-do list and you start by beginning one task, then the remaining tasks start creating psychic tension at the back of your mind that leads to your divided attention and divided focus. Neither will you be able to focus completely on the task at hand, nor will you be able to get the other things out of your mind. It's not at all a good idea, and it also decreases your work efficiency. Setting achievable and specific goals is always the best idea. So if you have the fear that you have lots of tasks to be completed, and if you don't write it down somewhere, then you can forget it easily. Then write it down on a separate sheet of paper, not in your list of tasks for the day, so that you won't have the fear of forgetting that, neither will you have a psychic tension to complete the tasks today. In relation to the previous point, creating to-do list at the beginning of the day or the day prior can be of great help, but make sure to list specific and achievable goals. Once you create a specific to-do list, then the Zeigarnik effect will help you complete the list, and also it frees your mind from the unnecessary mental chaos of all the unplanned and unfinished tasks. It's indeed worth thinking that how such a small experience at a restaurant could lead to discovery of such important effect in relation to human psychology. So summarizing the key points of the video, first thing is start the task. Second thing is take intentional breaks and interrupt your task. Third thing is just allocate enough tasks so as to not overburden yourself. Fourth thing is make a clear-cut plan and set specific achievable goals and achieve them. So hope you guys found some value in this video. If you find it interesting, do share it with anyone who might find it interesting as well. And do let me know if you knew about this Zeigarnik effect before. Until next time, take care.